Hi, welcome to the Crochet Show! In today's episode, I'm gonna show you some of the best crochet hacks you will ever see. No, that's a bit much. I'm gonna show you some of the best crochet hacks that you can use to make crocheting easier and more fun. I will show you, for instance, what you can do with this bottle and what you can do with a simple elastic band. But first of all, let's go to the magic knot. We dive straight into the first hack I want to show you. The magic knot is, well, ideal for attaching a new ball of yarn to your work without any loose ends you have to fasten up afterwards. So that's awesome. You put the end of your old yarn at the bottom and the beginning of your new yarn above it. And we start by tying our old yarn around the thread of the new yarn, so over it, underneath it, and then pull the end of your thread through the loop. We're going to do the same at the other end, but now we tie the new thread around the old one. And now the magic happens, ladies and gentlemen. You pull the two knots together and they form an extremely firm knot. And you can cut the loose ends very closely to the knot, so you won't have to worry about any loose ends hanging around. And now you can just crochet along, and the knot is so small that it really just disappears into your work. My second tip I want to give you is something I recently discovered, and I absolutely love it, because it's a way to keep your base chains from entangling in each other, from winding up. That's the cat. I don't know if you heard that, but that's our cat in the background. Because if you have a very big project where you have to begin with a lot of chains, then it always starts whirling together. And I now have a way to stop that, and I just need to show you because it's amazing. First of all, you have to set up a few chains, like 10 or something like that, just an amount that doesn't tangle up yet. So let me do just a few. And what you do then is you take out your hook and insert it in the first chain you make, and then do it again through the loop where you were working. Your chain is like fixed on your hook, and you can just keep adding chains, more and more and more, and it can never tangle up again. I love it. It's so simple, but it's just so amazing. And the easy thing is that if you have to connect your chains because you have to crochet in the round, you can just pull it through, and that's it. It's not entangled, it's all going in the right direction. It's amazing. I just wished I learned this tip earlier, so I hope you can work with it as well. I love it. I'm gonna do a few rounds of single crochets, a few rows, because that will make it easier to show you the next tip. This actually reminds me of the first time I started crocheting. I started like, let me count that, 8 years ago? No, 7 years ago. It was on my maternity leave for my eldest son, and I thought it would be nice to crochet a baby blanket for him. So I looked up some YouTube videos to start crocheting, but as it turns out, I chose a way too difficult one. I just typed in baby blanket crochet and I just did the first one I could find. but it was so not beginner's proof. But I didn't know that. I didn't know what a single crochet was. I didn't know what a chain was. I didn't know anything. So I just tried to keep up with that video. That was so hard. I did manage to create some kind of blanket, but it was so tough. It just stood up. You could not put a baby under there. It was the wrong yarn, it was the wrong stitches, the wrong hook, everything was wrong about it. But I still loved it because I could just feel it was something for me. But then later on I started typing in other search words like how do you learn to crochet? Things like that. I also did a course at a local yarn store. They did a course on amigurumi crochet. It was the ugliest amigurumi I had ever seen, but I still did the course. It was one night and I learned so much. It just showed me that you need some good tips to start off. You need some nice little hacks to make life a little easier. So I really hope I can give you some tips like that today. I'm very curious, how did you learn how to crochet? What were the mistakes you made in the beginning that you learned a lot from? I'd love to hear your story, so please leave it in the comments. Tip number 3. I am going to show you how to change color with a standing single crochet. And that will keep your edges nice and straight. You fasten off your previous color first and then you put the new color on your hook with the slip knot. And then you put your hook through the last stitch of the previous row. You pull up a loop and now you don't do a slip stitch or a chain, but you immediately do a single crochet. And then your color change is very neat and you can just keep going with your new color. The next few tips I have for you are concerning with amigurumi crochet, like crocheting in the round. So I will show that, and after that I will show you what you can do with a water bottle and an elastic band. So stay tuned, because you can use those while crocheting. You really can. I'm gonna start with a magic ring. Just like a basic amigurumi start. A magic ring with 6 single crochets in it. I just recently discovered this tip. I'm going to show you first, and I love it because it saves so much time. With this hack we're going to keep a very neat circle while changing colors. So you fasten off your old color and you attach a new one. And you do a slip stitch in the first stitch. Then chain 1. And in the next stitch you do a normal single crochet and you keep going with single crochets until the end of the row. And now you skip the slip stitch and the chain you made before and you continue crocheting in the first single crochet. You can see where you change colors a little bit, but this is a very fast way to keep your colors neat in your circle on the same level. I love it. I love that I discovered this technique and I hope you can do your benefit with it as well. Great beginner tip. It is the way to decrease invisibly when you do amigurumi. So let me just show you how that's done. You use the front loop of your stitch. You pull up a loop and immediately go to the front loop of the next stitch as well. You pull up a loop here as well. And now you have 3 loops on your hook right now. Yarn over and now pull your yarn through all 3 loops. The back loops you didn't use. They are the reason that you won't have an ugly little gap that shows you diminished your stitch. The only thing you have to pay attention to now is that you continue crocheting into the next stitch and not make the mistake that you use the second stitch you just diminished. If you keep that in mind, you're good to go. Tip number 5. Let me just put away my hook. I'm gonna use that elastic band I showed earlier. What can you do with an elastic band while crocheting? Well, let me show you. When you have a crochet hook that doesn't have a nice grip. Is that an English word?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Grip?
Yeah.
It sounds so weird. Okay, we're going totally off track, but here we are again.
Focus!
Focus! Yes, there I am. When you have a crochet hook that doesn't have a nice grip, you can use this elastic band, electric band, I was going to say, elastic band to get a better grip. For instance, if you have like a crochet hook that is like very thin, like this, you can just put on the elastic band like this, so that it's like a little bulk of rubber band. And then you have way better grip. It's a very cheap way to get a better hook. Tip number 6, it is time to use this bottle. And this is ideal for when you're someone like me who always has problems with balls of yarn. They tangle up, they roll off your lap. It is a mess, always. And that is when a bottle comes in handy. What are we going to do? We're going to get it open. We're going to put in the yarn. It's already tangled up. Oh no.
En een bot aantekenen.
Okay. We're just gonna put it. It's going to be okay now. It's going into the bottle. We're gonna put it in. We're gonna get the lid off. And then we're gonna put the thread through here. Where are you? We're gonna close up the bottle. And then we can just keep going. It will never entangle. Isn't this gorgeous? You can lay it next to you on the couch. You can have a row of little bottles when you're working with a lot of colors in one project. And it won't tangle up. It won't roll off. It's awesome. When I discovered this, I just loved it. So I hope this will help you too. If you didn't know this kind of stuff was possible with just some simple things you just have lying in your kitchen cupboard, then do check out other hacks. There are a lot of nice crochet hacks around, and well, they can help you a lot to make it a little easier, to make life a little easier. I hope you like our tips. If you're gonna work with them, please let me know. If you want to see more of the Crochet Show, then please subscribe to our channel to see every video. Well, that's it from us today. I'll see you next time. Bye!